Hi, happy Monday. Hope you guys are well. Well, I guess I've been with you for a while. Anyway, behave well for the sub. Make sure you guys get your work done. You do have homework tonight. So work hard for the rest of class. Today we're doing, these notes are on the last thing that you guys need to know before the test, which is dividing a polynomial by a binomial. If you look at the bottom here, there's a binomial. It's two terms. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to start out by factoring the numerator and the denominator. The denominator in these problems actually are not factorable, but in Algebra 1 they will be. So starting with the numerator, it's a trinomial and the leading number here is a 1. So we're thinking what two things multiply to become -8 and add to become 7. And thinking about it, let's see, it's +8, so x plus 8, and -1, right? Because 8 times -1 is -8. 8 plus -1 is 7. So what you're going to notice is that one of the factors in the numerator is the exact same thing as the factor in the denominator. And what we can do is we can cancel those out. We can cancel out x minus 1 and x minus 1 because right here in between there's a multiplication symbol. And so we're allowed to do that. So when we cancel out x minus 1 and x minus 1, the remaining factor is x plus 8, which is our answer. So that's all you do. So we're going to work through all of the odds together and see how they go. All right, here we go. Trinomial. Leading term is 1. Two things that multiply to become -21 and add to become -10. Think about it for a sec. X minus 7 and x minus 3. -7 times -3 is 21. -7 and -3 make -10. So again, you'll notice there's the common factor. There's an x minus 7 with another x minus 7. So those will cancel out, and the final answer will just be x minus 3. Final answer. All right, number 3. It's a binomial, minus sign in between. Both things are being squared. So this is a difference of squares. It factors into y minus 5 and y plus 5. So common factor of y plus 5 will cancel out. I can't do this on this, but I actually like draw lines through it if I was writing it in front of you guys. So cross off, final answer, y minus 5. Oh, where do you think that went? Cancel? Send? Why am I sending? What's happening? Come back. Okay, there we go. So cancel, y minus 5 is our final answer. All right, next one. Okay, trinomial. Leading term is not 1. So we need to make a list of the ways to get 2, which is 1 and 2. And we need to make the list of the ways to get 12, which is 1 and 12. What else? 6 and 2, and 3 and 4. And since this is a -12, we know that one number has to be positive and one has to be negative. So here's the awesome thing about these types of problems is that this bottom denominator we know is going to be one of our factors. So I can automatically put 2n minus 3 as one of our factors. And then it makes it so much easier to figure out what our other factor is because, let's think through this. So we had to pick 2 and 1. We already have the 2n. So the second one is going to be, no, go right there. There we go. It's going to be 1n, or you can just write n. And then the second part over here, we picked 3. So we know that the other one is going to have to be the 4. We had to pick 3 and 4 again because the 3 was chosen here. So the hardest part is deciding is it going to be +4 or -4. And since the 3 already took on the negative, the 4 is what has to take on the positive. So there is our factors. And we can get rid of that 1 if we want to. But so 2n minus 3, 2n minus 3 cancels, and we have n plus 4 as our final answer. All right, I'm going to start rolling a little bit faster. Where's my second page of this? There it is. I know what I'm doing. Scroll. All right. This one, I'm going to go a little bit faster. Let's see. A difference of squares. So we factor into 4k minus 1 and 4k plus 1. You guys can pause, so that's why I'm going to go a little bit faster. 4k plus 1 and 4k plus 1 cancel, and we're left with 4k minus 1 for our final answer. And next page. So this is written the same, just in a different way. Instead of a big fraction bar, this little dividing thing. So trinomial, leading term is 1, multiply to become negative 33, add to become 8. We have c minus 3, which I already know because that factor is there. So now I just have to figure out c plus 11. C minus 3 cancel. Final answer, c plus 11. Next one. Let's see. Let's start. This one has a GCF. So they both have a 4 and they both have an M. So let's go ahead and take out 4M, which leaves us with M minus 5. And there, this is done factoring, and there's our common factor of M minus 5. So what's left is 4M. All right, what do we got? 2 more, I think? Yeah, 2 more. All right, 13. Ways to get 4 are going to be 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Ways to get 10 are going to be 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. And again, the fact that we have one of the factors makes this so much easier. So the P has a 1 in front of it, which means we had to choose the 1, 4. And then the last term is 2, which means we had to choose the 2, 5. So we're picking 1, 4 and 2, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and write P minus 2, minus 2, and that leaves the second one. Again, since the P has a 1, we had to choose 1, 4. So 4P, and then we already used the 2, so now we can use the 5. And I believe it's a plus 5, and the reason I knew that is because we had to multiply to get to the negative 10. All right, last one. A rectangle has an area of this. The width is that. Write an expression to represent the length. So if you remember the way you find the area of a rectangle is area is equal to length times width. And this is asking us to find the length. So if I solve this for length, that means I'm dividing both sides by the W to get length being equal to area divided by width. So this is just a division problem where we're going to take the area and we're going to divide it by the width. All right, so our area is 12m squared minus 7m minus 10. There is not a GCF, so I'm listing out 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. But based off of 3m plus 2, I know I'm going to use 3m and 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the other ones. For 10, I have 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. Because my factor has a 2 in it, I know I'm going to use 2 and 5, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the other ones. So now I'm just looking for how does this combine. So we have 3m plus 2 is one of them because that's our factor. So the other one takes on the 4m and a minus 5 because they have to multiply to become negative 10. So 3m plus 2's cancel. Final answer, 4m minus 5. So your task now is to do the evens, factor them, and then there's an answer key to check, and then the rest of class you have to work on your homework. So please work really hard at this so that we can do really well on Thursday and we can make sure we're all ready. All right, good luck.